Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Female Footballers Podcast. I'm your host, Cassie Gray, and today I am joined by a really exciting guest. McKenna Whitham is a professional soccer player who plays forward for Gotham FC. She signed with Gotham at the age of 13, becoming the youngest player in NWSL history. She signed an NIL contract with Nike in February of 2024 at the age of 13, becoming the youngest athlete in any sport to sign with the company. Welcome, Mac. I'm so excited to have you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Really excited to be on this.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. We've been DMing for like a year and a half or something, so I've gotten to kind of chat with you on your journey a little bit. And so this past, 2024 has been quite the year for you, right?
Yeah. Yes, it has been.
Oh, such a cool year. I want to get to all of the current stuff, but I think I want to start backwards a little bit and talk a little bit more about like just your trajectory to get here. And you're now 14. I know, I think you signed only a few days before your 14th birthday, but this is like you're the youngest player in history. This is a big deal. So, can you just start with telling us a little bit about your early soccer days, like how you got into soccer, where you're from, some of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I've been playing since I've been 6 years old. I remember the first time I loved it was when I touched my very first soccer ball. I feel like that's what everyone always says, but for me, I loved it because it felt like something that I don't know, it just opened a whole new world for me. Um, I remember when I went to my very first competitive team, and I was doing so good. Um, and like it's called Blues. It was, it was like a, it was like for 7 year olds, 8 year olds, 9 year olds, and I was doing really well. I played up too, and so I did that for like 4 times a week, and then I went to this place called Mad Skills, and it was a whole another world for me. It was like where you go in, there's techno music, there's flashing lights, and you just have so much fun. Especially the coach. His name is Modesto Ruse, and he's amazing. He's a big ball of energy, and he's just incredible.
That's so cool. So you're around 7, 8, or 9, you started playing comp and
Yeah.
doing some extra technical skill work.
Yes.
And blues is in SoCal, correct?
It is in no, it's up in Roseville. It's actually
Oh,
up in
blues. Okay.
California. Yeah,
Okay, very cool. So you're from Northern California.
I am. Yes.
Okay, very cool. I heard of you and became aware of your abilities from my club soccer good friend Heather Mott, who her husband Carlos and her coached in MVLA, and so I think you were in MVLA for a little bit post 7, 8, and 9. So can you take us from 7, 8, and 9 to maybe 12? What happened?
Yeah. Yeah, so I after 789, I went to my very first ECNL team, San Juan,
Oh,
and that was yeah, my very first ECNL team. I didn't know what to expect, but then I had so much fun. I enjoyed it. I started actually also playing with the O7s after I was playing with the O9s at San Juan, and
which
that
is
was
3 years
when
up, right?
that's 3 years up, and that was when I realized I was really good. Um, and then after that, let's see, and then I moved. Then we moved to the Bay Area,
Mhm.
MVLA, and I played with the O7s, the O8s, the O9s, and once again, they are a really great club. I enjoyed it. I was there for a year. We went to ECNL playoffs, got second place, and then we moved down to go to SoCal and played with Slammers, and that has been they're an unbelievable club. Zia and Waleed, they are very supportive, amazing coaches, mentors, and so I was there for a season, and I played with the O7s again and the O9s, and so I was there for a whole year. But while I was there, I got called into multiple KC Current reserve team camps, and um, that was that was my first time I've been to like an NWSL camp. Well, I wouldn't say NWSL, but like a reserve team. But I went to their training facility, and it was unbelievable. And and then after that, I got called into 3 U.S. Youth National Team camps, U15, and I did really well there. So they had me go to Europe and play Germany and Netherlands, and I did really good there. So then just last month they had me go to CONCACAF, and we won. We got
That's so
first place.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
so awesome.
But while I was doing all that stuff, I was also with Gotham for 4 months, or 4 plus months. But I was also like in their preseason. I was going back and forth from New Jersey to SoCal, and in their environment. So yeah,
Oh my gosh. So 7, 8, and 9, you pretty much with Mad Skills Lab knew something was different. Like, did your family just say, okay, something is like a whole different level? Like, I'm sure as a parent myself with a daughter, it's obvious when you can tell on a field with your kid that they are
yeah.
above the rest. So, what did your family think? What did they do? How do they know how to navigate some of this?
Well, yeah. I mean, I like I said when I was with the O7s actually at San Juan, that was when I knew I was really good because I was having so much success, and I was like, wow, I can do it. And then we kind of just started like setting goals in place and just preparing myself for what's to come.
So it was, so a little bit of it was, okay, she's at a different level. We know this is like, and you always had dreams, I assume, at that stage of playing
Mhm.
professional. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah,
So your family was really on board and saying like, all right, let's do whatever needs to happen kind of to get
yeah.
you to that level. That is very special. Are you aware like how cool that is to have a family that's that supportive?
I'm I'm really happy to have a family who is willing to do that. I mean, my dad, he helps me and drives me to trainings, and he's just like, we have a relationship where he tells me the truth and just sets it to me straight, and I really appreciate that. My mom, she helps me a lot in school and is really like helpful in helping me balance my schedule and with school and soccer, and is just very helpful.
So at 7, 8, and 9, were you ever, I should ask, in a traditional school setting, or is it around that time where you started to say, okay, maybe I need to look at different pathways?
I mean, yeah, because like once COVID hit and we all went to lockdown, we did homeschool. But once everyone started going back to school, I stuck to it and I really enjoyed it. It helped me a lot also, like how to schedule everything, and it helped me learn how to stay disciplined and just learn how to balance everything out. Um, I also we were kind of always going to go to homeschool as well, even before COVID hit. So it helps a lot.
But you were going to go there because you knew your pathway was going to have to take you so many places that that
Yes.
type of schedule wouldn't work
Yeah.
for you. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed. And I do think COVID did help with that, right? Because
Yeah.
now when you moved to being in SoCal, I know you post a lot of pictures of or video where you do some skills work with Coach Michael. Is that his name?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, that kind of affords you, like your schedule with having homeschool really affords you to get extra touches that
It
like other players might not have, right? That's pretty cool.
does. Yeah.
That's awesome. So okay, you're now, you're in NLA, you're with Slammers, now you're traveling to Jersey, you're kind of doing reserves there. Like the last 2 years have must have been a whirlwind for you. I can't
Mm-hmm.
imagine what that's been like. So can you kind of give us like a maybe a typical day in the life at 12 or 13, like what your schedule was?
Yeah. I mean, I had lots of stuff going on. I had slammers trainings and I had camps, USA camps. Um, I just I got called in, not called in, but I tried out for like Blue Heat.
Can you
the
explain what
semi-pro
that is
team.
for our listeners? What's Blue Heat?
Yeah, it's a semi-pro team, and we just won like a championship. Let's say it was in June, and and Carlos is the head coach, and he is very supportive and really great guy. So I was doing a lot of that as well. But typical day in my life is where I wake up at, let's say, like 6:45, eat breakfast, um, head to training for like an hour and a half, come back, do 3 to 4 hours of school, eat lunch, and then I go to training as another training, and then I come home, stretch, relax, eat dinner, and then like if there's a soccer game on, I watch it, um, read at night, and then go to bed.
So cool. And you're a
Yeah.
big Arsenal fan like me, so go.
Yes, I am. Yep.
That's awesome. I love
Yep.
that. So I mean, that's an intense schedule. You're training 2 days a week,
Yep.
and you're fitting school in. This is a lot for a 14-year-old. It's also incredibly impressive. How does it feel to be, I mean, you are now the youngest player, to ever sign a pro contract on the women's side of the game. How does it feel?
It feels unbelievable. I've worked really hard to get to where I am. My team and I mean, we've set goals in place, and we've worked towards to in preparation to turning pro, and also like being in the Gotham environment after I've hit my goals has been. I mean, it's taken me a lot of work to prove to myself that I could do it, but just proving to myself that I could do it feels really amazing. But also, the best achievement is proving to my team that I could do it and they feeling that I was ready. Um, and I just, with Gotham, it feels just, I feel really proud of myself and really happy that I have chosen to be in that development and just chosen the right development on and off the field with them.
Yeah, and what a great team. I mean, I think that's the most U.S. women's national team players on an
Yeah,
NWSL team, right? And what a cool environment to be in. Is there, on day one when you head there, I guess because you were in the reserves for a little while, I know you went to Columbia, right? And you
I did. Yeah.
goal, that was amazing. It seems on the outside that they've been incredibly supportive. Has there been any of those like moments where you're just like, oh my God, I just met so and so, or I can't believe I'm doing this? Have you had any of those kind of moments?
Yeah, I did. I have a lot of moments. I when I first met like all of those youth, sorry, not youth, but those U.S. women's national team players the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, I am training, I'm playing with these women, and but the best part is that they're going to be helping me and they're going to be supporting me and guiding me to be the best that I can be.
Absolutely. And female footballers, we do a lot of mentorship. In fact, Sam Hyatt's one of our mentors there at Gotham. But I feel like this is the best form of mentorship any girl could ever get at this. It's so amazing that you get this opportunity and
Yeah,
experience. That does come with a lot of pressure. And for somebody your age, and I know there's a lot of noise around playing professionally at such a young age. I know being a parent, um, I think I wear a parent hat, I wear a coach hat, I wear a mentor hat, I wear a player hat. And so I have a pretty well-rounded view of a lot of this, but I think there's a lot of people who they hear the clickbait online or see a clip and they make a snap judgment. But what would you or your family say to those people who are questioning whether this is the right path for you, or if this is appropriate or if it's too much or anything like that? Like, what would you want to tell them?
you know, everyone is entitled to their own opinions, and not everyone is on the same path. I'm aware of what they're saying. Like, for example, she needs to be a kid, she needs to be a teenager, she needs to be in high school. But what I do is, I mean, I love it. I'm happy with my decisions and what I'm choosing. I mean, when it comes to high school, I do take it serious. I'm excelling in it. I want to graduate 3 years actually earlier, or not 3 years, but I want to graduate in 3 years, not 4 years. Um, and that's like the whole being a kid part of it. But there's also where they say like um, she shouldn't be playing with adults. She should be playing her own age. What I say to that is, if you're good enough, you should play with them. And um, I mean, we shouldn't limit ourselves to the norm, but we should play to the level that we deserve to play in. Boys and girls, we deserve it.
I 100% agree. I think it's come a long way from Olivia Moultrie doing like, getting the ability to have younger players in her lawsuit from that time, which I think was like 2021, 2022 to now. I think the mentality around younger players playing has really
Yeah,
shifted. And I think that's only benefiting you because I don't think, I mean, at least from the outside, and I follow a lot of different soccer entities, I think that there's so many people in your corner and supporting you and seeing that your lifestyle from your day in the life is not that much different from a typical 14-year-old. They're going to school, they're playing soccer a few times a day, they are doing homework, they're, eating breakfast. It doesn't sound that much different. I think you're just getting to be in an environment that is only going to help you grow that much faster than everybody
yeah,
else.
definitely.
Um, and I think, back in the day when there were concerns with players really young playing and not going to college, for example, I think a lot of people thought that, what are they going to do when soccer's over? But as we're seeing in this women's sports era, that there are so many jobs and opportunities post
Yeah.
playing nowadays that it's not a thing anymore. So I'm just really excited for you, and it's been really fun to watch. And you mentioned that you play for the U.S. Youth National Team. So can you tell us a little bit more about how you got in? You told us you won CONCACAF. Tell us more about that. I want to hear more about that experience.
Yeah, so I played with the O9s up the U15s. Well, now we're U16s because we just finished. But yeah, I mean, I've worked really hard to make it into those camps. I just went to Europe, I believe it was in June, and that was a great experience. I got to see, I mean, first time in Europe too, and I got to see lots of many cool different things and just play in that environment. We won both games against Netherlands and Germany, and since I did very well there, I got to go to CONCACAF and represent my country. And and just after winning that tournament, I felt very honored to wear the crest and bring back a trophy.
Yeah, that's so cool. So do you have a group of friends on that team that I think that's the one of the question marks of playing in an environment, being a younger player, playing on like a women's professional team, like connecting with some of these women can be really hard, right? Because everyone's at a different age. I mean, you're with Crystal Dunn, who's got a kid, and all sorts of people, right? So do you love that youth national team environment because it's girls your age who are, I'm sure you're probably above their level still, but it's still just closest to girls your age that are at your level, right?
Oh no, definitely, yeah. Like I love that team. They're very funny too as well. They're like very supportive in what I'm doing. I enjoy every minute I am with them. Um, yeah, I have a bunch of girls that actually do live here where I am that are on that U 15 team, and I mean we train together as well sometimes. But yeah, I mean they're a great team. There's a bunch of great players out there as well on that team, and just a bunch of fun girls.
That's awesome. So, because I think a lot of teenagers, we see it, female footballers, a lot of players hitting around your age 14. It can, for some girls, this becomes a job type setting and it gets harder, and it gets harder to have that camaraderie and that
Mm-hmm.
friendship. And I think professional environments afford just so many outlets and avenues to find support more so than a youth club system situation. And so I'm not surprised that you can really thrive in a national team environment with girls your age. I think that's
Yeah.
awesome. What are your goals with the national team in the future, or do you have any? What kind of future accomplishments do you want to have?
Well, I definitely want to go to the Olympics and win a World Cup. I also another goal that I have is to win a national championship with Gotham because I feel like, I mean, yes, they've already won one, but to be able to help win them another, like win another one with them would be unbelievable. But the top goal that I want to be is to be the best woman soccer player in the world. I mean, yes, it's a lot of hard work, but I feel like I'm capable of doing that.
Absolutely. I love your belief and I love that you're shooting as high as amazingly possible. And I think that is such a great example for girls your age to just, go, the sky's the limit and have that
Yeah,
mentality. At Female Footballers, we help players your age with mental school skills training and mental performance skills. Um, I'm just curious, it's very unique to come across a player at your level, at your age, and I know you could help so many girls your age by kind of giving insight, like how do you practice mental skills? What do you do when you have moments of doubt? What sort of how do you navigate this pressure that's on you too at such a young age?
yeah. I mean, I do work with a mental skills coach once a week, and we work on staying in the present and not focusing on past mistakes on the field, and just worrying too much about the future and what's going to happen. And how we do that is by doing visualization and breathing techniques. But I do know a lot of like growth mindset as well. I read lots of books about that, about being champion minded. Um, and when it comes to pressure, with me, I feel like it's not too much because what I'm doing is what I love, and I don't worry about anything too much outside of what I am doing and what I love to do. I mean, this is my journey, it's my path. It's me versus me.
I love that. Your mentality is so well beyond your years. I don't know if people say that to you a lot. You're also incredibly articulate and well spoken for 14. I think it's awesome. And I love that you mentioned visualization and breathing techniques. I think when we work with players your age, sometimes the initial like link to that, to the longevity that that will have with your mindset, I think some players it's lost on them. So the fact that you see results from that in your daily training, I think is really cool because it
Yeah,
does. Some players are like, really, breathing's going to help me, but we,
it
as
helps
we know,
a lot.
helps a ton, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome. So I think as we've seen in the last couple of years, there's so many young players your age that are popping up more and more, which is helping normalize this pathway. But what advice would you have for girls younger? I know you have a younger sister, right? Like what advice do you have for girls her age or younger that want to kind of take your pathway and aspire to play pro at a younger age and bypass the traditional collegiate route or club route? What would you say to them?
I would say just don't compare yourself to others. You're on your own journey, running your own race. Um, I feel like lots of players try to be like, oh, how come I can't do this? Or how come like I'm not doing this, but she can do it? Like, focus on what you can do better, how you can be a better self, um, and just, I mean, stay disciplined as well. That's a big thing. But also enjoy like loving what you do. It's like there doesn't need to be so much pressure on what you do. Like just enjoy it. Um, but yeah, I mean, just have fun.
I think that comes across talking to you as your passion and your discipline are like
Yeah.
unmatched. And I think that those two items take a player so much farther. And I think, you've had so much success, which probably just fuels that passion even more, right? So in the rest of the season for the NWSL, you're with Gotham are you in Jersey all the time now? Like, is that how your schedule is or?
Yeah, like right now I'm home, but I am gonna go back to New Jersey in October for a bit until like I mean till the end of the season, and then we have break December and then half of January, and then I'm with them the whole time.
Awesome. So you're still going to continue to play like Blue Heat in different ways just to get game time. And I know a lot of NWSL players go on loan in the off season, things like that. But will you just remain training kind of at home and doing things like that?
Yeah, I'm not doing Blue Heat anymore. We just
Oh, okay.
that was like in June, but I am doing LAFC boys, um, MLS Next boys team, and for a bit, like 4 times a week, and I think some games like Saturdays and Sundays. But then, yeah, we I go back to Gotham uh, when season starts.
And I know this wasn't on our list, but tell me a little bit about playing with boys. What do you think? What are your
I mean, I love playing with the boys. It's a great environment. It's fast. It helps. It's also helping me a lot with my development. Um, and I mean, they're really good as well. So they're
Yeah,
pretty good.
I feel like that's one of those things that when we talk to players, especially some of the pro mentors in our network, when they talk about their youth experience, they always reference that they trained with the boys. And
They
yet,
do. Yeah.
yeah, we have a lot of girls that we mentor who sometimes are getting the no, you can't train with the boys kind of mentality. So it's very interesting. But I find that the
Yeah.
pace of men's and boys soccer is only going to help female players. And so,
Yeah.
and every time you post a video of yourself on your social platforms, the speed at which you do drills and the power you have behind your shots, I'm always just like, it's just amazing. You're on another level.
Thank you.
So cool. I'm just so excited for your trajectory and your path. And anything else you want to tell? I mean, we didn't really touch too much on the Nike deal. Is there anything you want to tell us about that?
Yeah. I mean, Nike. I love wearing Nike, as you can see. Um, at a very young age, I started wearing a lot of Nike. I mean, they're great. They're super supportive. They're like family to me. They care very deeply about my success and what's going on. And yeah, I mean, I signed in February. They saw me at a USA camp and they're very interested. And I think that them taking a big risk and signing me as the youngest NIL player is just, it's a big deal to me. And still, even if that was a long time ago, it's still like just an amazing feeling to have.
So cool. So cool. Awesome. Well, I can't thank you enough for your time. I know how busy you are and how many things you have going on. But I love that, you're so skilled already in time management and all of the skills that go along with being a pro athlete. So congratulations on your success so far. And our entire female footballers family is so excited to watch the rest of your journey and the path that you're going to create for so many young girls to normalize that there isn't just one pathway for female athletes anymore, which is really exciting. And thank you so much for your time.
Of
We're so
course.
grateful.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Is there anywhere people can find you or learn more about you? Is there anyone to send them?
I mean, I live in Huntington Beach right now, but we're going to be moving soon to New Jersey. But I mean, today I'm going to Angel City game, but just find me on Instagram.
Yeah, your social platforms. That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to following your journey.
Of course. Thank you for having me.